mymommymanual.com and Jernick.com, jernick.posterous.com. I'm here with Ria Sharon and Zen Mommy, who's also Suzanne
Tucker, you got
Do we go with your last name as well, or do we keep
Yes.
like superhero mystery?
It's out there, Suzanne Tucker. Let the world know,
So Suzanne
Zen
Tucker.
Mommy is really Suzanne
Okay.
Tucker. Yes.
AKA.
Excellent, excellent. So we have Zen Mommy here, and we have Practical Mommy here, and on Twitter. And what I want to know is, you've done something remarkable that everyone tries to do and then gives up after 3 blog posts. So am I wrong? I mean, this is the truth, right?
Life gets busy, the diapers need changing, and they stop blogging. That happens.
So how did you start from a website with no content, and all of a sudden, if you go to mymommymanual.com, you've got sponsors, you've got articles, you've got guest interviews, you've got guest articles. How do you get from no blog posts to that within how long? How long was it?
About a year.
About a year. We just had
About a
our
year.
1 year anniversary.
Yep. In September.
So 0 to 70. How do you do it, Ria? She's our practical mommy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her outline it.
Well, I think, it's probably, we've talked about a 3-step process. The first step is
Okay.
creating the content, so building whatever it is that you are offering to the world, and then going out and building community and engaging other people in what it is that you're doing. And then once you have that community, then you can then approach people who are interested in talking to that community.
So with level 1, we were talking about just starting conceptual from the concept up, breaking out the brass tacks, get down to the soul. Love that.
Getting down to
Love
the
that
soul.
word. We really did start at the soul level. Okay, can we start there at the soul level? Because is anything going to succeed if you don't start there? If you hate what you're selling, if you just don't even believe in it,
You don't believe
you're
in
going to
it,
have
you're
a problem.
not at 100%.
And I know everybody
right.
knows this. I'm not going to hang out with that point very long, but it needs to be said. We're passionate about what we're talking about on My Mommy Manual.
So that's the first part, and then the content creation. So what you are seeing is basically we're over a little over a year old, and I would say for a good 6 months we were in the content generation side. We weren't necessarily promoting our site. We were busy figuring out who we were, what our voice was in the world, and what our gifts were, what we had to share. So yeah, you go on the site, we've got tons of video, we've got all of this stuff going on. There was a germination process there that took, 4 to 6 months of really finding where our bliss and our joy was. And I think that's an important part. And that's where the passion comes in, because like you said, it's easy to start a blog. They're free. Go on whatever, platform you want and start a blog. And after 3 blog posts, you realize you can't talk about that anymore. That's a problem. You got to make sure you have that stick-with-itness to really build the content.
So we were clear, we're building content and
Right.
we're being of use. So make yourself of use, do something good. Because those are the things that go viral in the world. You don't go, oh, I'm going to set out to create something that's going to go viral. No, do something good, and guess what?
I think
They go viral.
Yeah, that's what Chris Bergen said in his keynote.
Yes.
So
It's interesting when you said that, is that when you sit there and say, I'm going to make something go viral, you're already not centered. You're already thinking in terms of what your mind says might go viral, as opposed to if you just do something straight from your heart, straight from your gut, then it just happens to resonate with people as a side effect of being passionate about what you do.
right.
Good point.
So I love that fact. I love that you
Yeah.
actually built a body of work even before you started marketing yourself, before you started pushing yourself out there. That took some patience.
So then the next step, and what you were talking about, everybody talks about building community. That next step for us was engaging people and getting them to contribute to our site and to be part of our community. And you can't get to step 2 without step 1. If you have nothing to be engaged with, if you have nothing engaging, then you're not going to be able to do that. People aren't going to return your calls or emails, But we've got this body of work, 200 something posts, we've got all of this helpful information. And the perception that when people come to our site, they're like, "Wow, you really
You're
you know,
bringing it.
Yeah,
That's another term you love. Bringing
Exactly.
it, yeah.
You've got you are an authority
They
in
can
this
tell you're
space.
serious.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be part of this.
We did that, I'd say, at that level by hosting events. Events, people love an event. Lewis Howe. Lewis Howes, sorry. Who's kind of a LinkedIn expert. What's the name of his book?
Linked Working is the name of his book, so it's at linkedworking.com.
He gave us.
Do we know his Twitter at all?
It's Lewis Howes. It's LEWISHOWES.
With an S. I
With an
apologize,
S.
Lewis. I only call him Lewis. But I think he gave us some great advice early on. And he said,
Right.
everybody loves a party, everybody loves an event. When we were launching and we were getting past that 4-month,
When we
getting
had
our
something
content,
to
he
offer
said,
the world.
Now
Launch.
start the launch parties, start the events. And we did. And we did event after event after event. And when you get the green light from the universe, what happens is Guy Kawasaki crashes your pajama party that we hosted. And we
Wow.
were hosting this to raise money through 12 for 12. Which
And
is-
through GNO,
Wow.
through
And
Mom
GNO.
It Forward. So
Yeah, so with some great people doing great things, right? But we weren't doing it to attract sponsors and make a lot of money and sell a lot of product.
not only do you get people to write for you and contribute for you, but now you have them evangelizing for your site. So every single person who writes and contributes for us is actually, we encourage them to say, hey, here's your next feature on My Mommy Manual is on this date. Send it to your supporters, your friends, your family. If you have an email list, send it out.
So let me
people
tell you in
come.
detail, Ria's created a great, I think it's an HTML, correct? She drops it into an email and says, we'd love you to let your friends and family and followers know this is your post date. And it's already created. It explains the branding behind how we want us to look, My Mommy Manual, and it invites them to very simply forward it on to their masses. And then their masses come and visit us on that day because their friend
It is
or
on there.
the person they believe and they know is on there. And then if they like what we're about, they end up joining our community.
And so now the third phase, I think, is the partnerships and the sponsorships. And again, once you've built your content and once you have demonstrated your engagement with your community, then the partnership is just kind of
Sourcing the right
sourcing
people.
the right people who want to partner with you.
And you want it to be a win-win. So you can look at how does this benefit them and how does it benefit us.
I love the third part, probably the most because it. You talked about partnerships in a way that most people rarely think about partnerships, and that what if someone has a mailing list that only applies for this period of time, and after this phase of their life, hey, these people move on. Everybody goes through different phases of life. Can you team up with them and benefit the same people that are not in this phase? They're not teenagers anymore. They're not moms that are pregnant anymore. They're actually moms with babies in strollers.
Right.
So you find these people, you link up with them, and all of a sudden you're benefiting everybody and yourselves.
Yes. All right. He's
That's
got
exciting.
it.
He's got it.
45
That's
seconds.
exciting.
Timer.
Yeah. Let's outline
Bring up
this.
the
I'd love
timer.
to do a bullet point outline and put it on my blog. Number one, it'll be at jernick.posters.com. And let's get the word out and share all the hard work that you've done and how you got to this point where you've got sponsors, and it's exciting.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. I hope it helps
Thanks
somebody
very much
out there.
for joining us.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely. For being on the Jernick Show. Bye.
Bye-bye.